Hey everybody, welcome back to Data Science with Michael, and today I want to talk a little bit about AI. I hear a lot of things about AI taking over. AGI is supposed to come by 2030. We're all supposed to be out of work shortly thereafter. And then I hear people on the other side of this topic saying, LLMs might not be the future key to unlocking general intelligence and things like that, because right now it seems like we're just scaling the models up by giving them more parameters, bigger size, more data to train on and things like that, more CPU power, so on and so forth. So they're saying you can't just unlock the AGI by simply making the models bigger. Something in the code or programming or in the network needs to change, some new type of model. Where I kind of am thinking about this, so I was originally convinced that, we were headed to AGI and that we would all be out of jobs soon. But I've been using the LLMs, Copilot, and ChatGPT so much, like just throughout life, and also just help with work, like an assistant at work almost, helping brainstorm ideas to solve problems and things like that. And there's so many cases where it just falls short, to be honest with you. And the harder the problem gets, the more it falls short on you, honestly. So like where I stand is actually there's a physicist named Roger Penrose who is obviously a well-known physicist. If you're in the science, if you're in tune with the sciences, you may know him. But he gave his perspective on AI and LLMs, and it was basically saying that in order to really sort of like contribute to new discoveries and new advancements in a scientific sense, the entity doing that needs to have an understanding of the laws and the physics and the theories. And he says, or he asserts, that understanding means you have a conscious being or a conscious entity that is able to sit there and think about the laws, think about the theories, and hold them in memory, essentially, and understand them, and have some sort of internal understanding of what it is and how it relates to things they care about. So his view is that the current LLMs that we have are not conscious. They don't just sit there and have an understanding of something. Like I'm sitting here having an understanding of, like physics or something, or data science, or I just understand linear regression. I'm sitting here and I understand it, right? They don't have that yet. And he argues that right now LLMs are simply computing machines. All they do is compute. You give them a request or a prompt, and they respond to it, right? They calculate a response, and that's all it is. They're returning a response. They're not just sitting there thinking, and that's it. And so I'll give you an example of something that happened to me recently. So I was editing a video, and I was trying to there was like in part of the video, I wanted to grab out this like donut box thing that was shaped like in a slanted sort of format. And I was trying to use different apps to figure out how I could just cut out the shape of the box, which was very irregular, and then use that in the thumbnail for a video. And like I asked ChatGPT to help me, and it gave me all these ideas about using this app and that app, and this app has a free-form cropping tool, and so does this one, and whatever. I went into all the ideas it had, and none of them worked. It was wrong about a lot of the apps having that free-form tool. And then I asked it, is there anything else I can do? And it really didn't give me anything useful. And then I myself thought, wait, what if I just load that image into the Photos app on the iPhone, and I freeform color green around the image, and then I can take that image and apply a green screen on it, and that will isolate this irregular donut box shape that I was trying to get. And that actually worked. It worked beautifully. And then I told ChatGPT what I did, and it was like, oh wow, that's really great, that's impressive, blah blah, whatever. So it was, I thought of a solution that it could not think of. And that happens a lot when I'm like working, if I'm stuck on a problem and I kind of give it a general context of what I'm trying to do, and it just can't quite give me the answer. I end up coming up with the answer.
You ain't got the answers.
So I just think it's interesting linking back to Roger Penrose, the reason why I was able to come up with that idea is because I already had an understanding of what it means to be green, right? I knew that I don't have any cropping tools that I can use apparently, but if I just color green around there, I'm like, oh, I know I could throw a green screen effect on there. So that's like linking sort of ideas from different domains across, and it only comes when you have a general understanding of something. And to understand, according to Roger Penrose, means that you're a conscious being that can sit there and just hold truths in your mind, essentially. And then, when you go out to do stuff, you can apply that, and you can apply that somewhere. And so I think my idea is that, as amazing as these AI LLM technologies seem, and they are very amazing, I agree with Penrose here. I think that we're not going to be displaced. I mean, there will be some automation and some job losses, but I don't think it's going to be at the level that maybe like people are saying or suggesting. Obviously, I could be completely wrong. Obviously, we could have robots walking around, by 2030, basically as if they're just normal humans or something. Who knows? I could be totally wrong. But that's just my opinion as of right now, based off my interactions with the LLMs and based off, the ideas of people saying it's going to take over, people saying it's not really at the stage yet. And I kind of side with Roger Penrose on this one. And also, you have to remember, there's been so many hyped up breakthrough technologies that have happened in the past, and they just kind of, they always fall short. The hype is always tremendous. Like, the internet was supposed to kill all brick and mortar stores, and it didn't quite do that, right? Or machine learning before the AI stuff, that was supposed to optimize every business. Every business could calculate every data point and predict everything and optimize itself. Well, that didn't really happen. There's been good use cases of it at various industries and companies that I've worked at, but it has for sure not been applicable to everything everywhere that solves every single problem. And I think, a lot of businesses can attest to that. It didn't miraculously change anything. So I think AI in the current stage with the LLMs will be similar. It will have its value and its place, but I don't think yet it's going to just take over everything. I mean, there's so much stuff with all the crazy AI stuff happening right now and the machine learning stuff that we passed already. There's still so many companies doing things manually. Why is that? Why are so many companies doing things manually that seem like they could be automated? Well, I think part of the reason is that these so-called amazing automated technologies don't always work all the way in practice, because data is messy and not everything is perfect. So that's just my 2 cents on this. I guess we'll see where things land. Obviously, it could be completely wrong, but I know for sure that there's overhype. I believe that. So I think the hype is always larger than the reality. So that's there. I would take that as a truth. So whatever we're saying AI is going to be in the next couple of years, we should probably subtract from it a little bit, and then maybe we'll arrive at something that makes more sense. I don't know. We'll see, but just wanted to share my thoughts on what I think about AI in its current state. Yeah, later.